Good morning. How are you, Furley?
Sensational Saturday, everyone. This is Furley Almonte, your host for the D Word. How you guys doing? Oh my goodness, this is going to be another great episode of the D Word. My co-host Carolina Denhard, attorney for divorce, international law, and family law, will not be able to join us because of family emergency. But of course, her spirit is here with us all the time, and she's always really plugged into creating the best value there is in terms of the divorce dynasty. The divorce dynasty is actually an a group of vetted professionals who are really selected specifically for their genius in the different industries that provide services not only for people going through divorce but also as people go through life transitions. Okay, today we are joined by my good friend who I actually recently just met at the Divorce Dynasty photo shoot at the Mammoth Executive Jet Airport. And I am telling you, it's so easy to fall in love with this gentleman because you can see that he has a very caring heart. He is very approachable. He's very funny, and his presence is just really over the top. And most of
I lost you, Furley. I think we lost Furley, but I think I'm still alive. Furley, thank you so much for that introduction. Again, my name is Anthony Dinapoli. I'm a senior loan officer for Advisors Mortgage. As Furley said, I'm a new member to the Divorce Dynasty. I was introduced to Carolina and Furley. There you are.
Oh, I know. It says the internet is unstable, so I apologize for that. And thank you very much, Anthony, for stepping in so beautifully. You know, aside from that, I love this moment because you can see right away, it's like, Furley, let's make this happen. Let's co-brand because he knows that we both have a great value to share with the different people going through divorce, and not only that, also through life transitions. And so many of our vetted professionals, whether it be realtors, insurance agents like myself, a senior loan officer just like Anthony, divorce attorney, immigration attorney. I just interviewed one yesterday. We have all the people that you need, finance experts, even matchmakers at the Divorce Dynasty. But today, our focus will be about real estate. Anthony, first of all, congratulations. 11 closings in 1 month. How the heck do you do that?
Correction, that was 1 week, but it was a crazy week. But it was an awesome month. I mean, we had between our purchase business and refi business has been the value's been through the roof, which obviously makes a lot of work. But this is what we work for, in this type of business for this type of transactions transpire. This is the equivalent of the dot-com boom. The mortgage industry and all related businesses have been extremely, extremely busy, high volume. And it's led to larger networks, more closings, but a little decreased turn times due to the amount of volume that's coming in. It's a good problem to have. We're trying to manage that. Obviously, our purchase business comes first. Those are contract dates, and then refis have to come second. But we've been doing it. My company, Advisors Mortgage, and my manager, Anthony Muscarella, have been doing an amazing job at managing the loan queue. And making sure that we hit our closing dates for our agents, and also keeping our referral partners happy for all the refinance that have been coming in. When I was asked to become a member of Divorce Dynasty, I was really excited. I really didn't know too much about it until I got to you ladies, especially you, Furley. We had a chance to meet together, and of course, how do we help each other grow? How do we help each other's businesses grow? And when I met Furley, she was pure energy, an energy that was very positive and very magnetic and similar to me, which is why we hit it off so well. But in speaking with her and realizing that she's an asset, she's a value that I could provide to my clients. God forbid, loss of job, sickness, for any reason, she can go to details, but having insurance that protects homeowners that for some reason they can't make their mortgage payments anymore and they have insurance for themselves, that she could provide that for them, give them a little bit more ease of mind. And that's an invaluable asset. God forbid something happens to someone's family and they can't make their mortgage payment. But again, it was something that we decided to meet up and start right away. I didn't just want to say, hey, yeah, let's put a date on the calendar. what can we do to have our business grow? What can we do to get this started? And the first thing she did is we had a face-to-face here at my house. And then now the second thing is the podcast, briefly introducing myself, letting you know what my services are, and in turn how my services and Furley services can help many different clients and referral partners out to the Divorce Dynasty.
You know, and I know that you have over 16 years of experience, right? In
Yeah,
the
October 1st was my 16 years with Advisors Mortgage, and that's a huge accolade because the company's been around for 20 years. They've been through the difficult times, and now they're in one of the best times that you could be in this business. And one thing to say about us is, Fortune 500 top company, a family-owned company, the largest lender in the Jersey Shore, the number one lender in the Jersey Shore as per our market volume. That's another big accolade. Our backyard is Monmouth and Ocean County, although we're licensed in all, I want to say not all states, like 42 states. But the beauty of it is that we have a team behind us and we have relationships that 16 years experience, no one else can match that. The fact that you could pick up the phone and call your ops manager, call underwriters, have direct access to compliance officers, vice president, even the president, Steve Meyer, will go ahead and pick up the phone. Sean Clark, the VP, John Thompson, Dave Dundaro, Stephen Caleb for questions and questions about guidelines. And just the team, just knowing the underwriters, the processors, knowing them for so long, growing up, having kids together, growing up our families, like that. The team and the dream is just to be family oriented and to have those relationships inside and outside of work. You cannot put a price tag on that.
No, tell me.
I think we lost Furley again. Furley, I think you're coming in. Your internet may not be as great. I know we had to use short connection for this. So that's why I did this from home and not my office. When she comes back in, just to finish up a couple things about Furley.
I know that I'm having some internet problems in here right now. I might have to even redo this interview because I would love to bring justice to what you're sharing, because we're in the midst of a pandemic right now, and the real estate market, the landscape has changed significantly. More homeowners, obviously more buyers, more people actually going through refinancing. So I'd like from your expert point of view, what's happening in the real estate market right now during this pandemic?
Well, let me tell you, we've seen a lot of people who have job loss that, no longer have income. In turn, in this business, we saw rates drop. And for those people that are fortunate to take advantage of a refinance, you obviously, people refinancing have the benefit of not just reducing their interest rate and their monthly payment, but when they're structured properly by someone who has experience in the business, they also get the benefit of skipping 2 months mortgage payments, getting their current escrow check back, and getting up to $2,000 back at closing. So that could be like a $10,000 swing overall. And skipping a couple months will help give these clients a little bit of a cushion that may not have lost job, but did lose, like instead of working a 40-hour week, they got reduced to a 30-hour week, or they got a 10% reduction in 1 day off or 2 days off. So, that's invaluable. So not only are they saving on interest rate and thousands of dollars over the life of the loan, but to help them recoup some of the money that they didn't bring in by giving them that 2-month cushion is an invaluable asset to a lot of these clients. And that's why not just ourselves, but this industry is seeing volume through the roof. When we're not going to see rates this low. We've never seen them this low in history. And it looks like after the election, they're going to try to keep the rates low, but they're not going to be in the 2s. They're going to creep back into the 3s, maybe even touch 4. But that's what we're expecting. That's what we're seeing, such high volume now. People are getting in and refinancing as we speak. I'm sorry?
Are there any incentives right now for like first-time home buyers or people who are going through refinancing? Are there any incentives that you would make people rush and actually see you?
Well, the rush is the interest rate. At the end of the day, if somebody was buying a house 2 years ago and their rate was 4%, 4.25%, versus them getting a 2.875 rate now, they have $50,000 to $75,000 more in buying power. So that's a huge incentive right there. They could afford that much more of a house at the same payment. Secondly, in the next 5 years, they're predicting that house values in the state of New Jersey are going to appreciate over 25%. That's a real number. How's that possible? I mean, we have everybody leaving New York, Staten Island, Brooklyn, and heading into New Jersey. So we have an influx of clients that have now leaving New York, and that housing bubble obviously has continued to the values and equities in New York and Staten Island continue to grow, cashing out now coming to Jersey, which is creating a very aggressive market here for purchases, where we're seeing multiple offer situations, not much inventory, and an influx of home buyers sitting there waiting for another property to come up in their price range that they could jump on and purchase. So
Well,
we've
Anthony,
benefited. Yes.
this internet connection makes me nervous that I will keep losing you. But anyway, I'd love
I
for
kept, hey, Furley, so you know, when I lost you, when we lose you, and I still see my connection, I keep going. So
yes, okay,
they're
all
not
right.
our listeners, whoever they may be, aren't sitting stagnant. And you know, I told you, Furley, I will always have your back. You know that.
I know that's what I love about you, and I will never ever forget about your ABC. Now you've
Oh,
added a D. Tell them about it.
always be closing with the D, the Divorce Dynasty, Dinapoli, Sarabandi. I mean, you name it with the D. But after the ABC comes the D. It's an easy process if the process is followed precisely. So we have a method to the way we submit a loan at our office, and I got to give credit to the branch manager, Anthony Muscarella, for this one. He developed a system on how a loan comes in, who has what detail, what gets done in a matter of time while the loan is sitting in queue before it gets handed to a processor, where we're able to hit these 45-day closing dates right now. Typically, we could do a closing in 30 days, but with 5 times the amount of volume, we've increased staff and we're still seeing, 45-day turn times. So the way that our branch specifically does it, where the Muscarella team at Advisors Mortgage, is that we're heavily weighting all the documents and the delivery of those documents in the pre-qualification phase. So when the first time a client contacts us, we're taking a full application and getting them a document checklist right there, telling them that once they provide those documents, we'll be able to not only provide a pre-approval and pre-qualification letter, but so that their offer is more heavily weighted in this multiple offer situation. We're also providing desktop findings, the copy of a lien and judgment report showing that there's no lien and judgments, that their credit is clean. So when their offer goes in, and it's going in not just with a pre-qualification letter, but along with DU findings showing it's been pre-underwritten, showing that all the income and assets have been reviewed, verifications of employments have been ordered, tax transfers have been ordered, they know that these borrowers are solid, and that they've been reviewed. And then with the commitment of 10 to 15 days from the conclusion of attorney review, that seller has less to worry about, so that they know they're only sitting there for a week to 2 weeks before they're getting a commitment from us. We're the bank, showing that we're going to be able to provide financing to that specific buyer. So that's how we're creating a little bit more value to our real estate agents and referral partners that are fighting hard to find properties. Once they get this buyer into the property, now we got to fight to get the offer accepted, or to make our client not just look the best, but be the strongest buyer that are being presented to that seller. So that's how, we're doing things a little bit differently. And obviously, me saying it, but we've seen some people try to mimic our style. But at the end of the day, it's also the team that's behind our team at Advisors that makes it happen, because you could talk and sell whatever you want, but you have to be able to deliver that.
Yes, so that's why you say always be closing with Dinapoli. But not only that, one of the things that make you also stand out is another C, right? Always be
Be
caring.
caring.
Yes.
I got you, Furley. I love
Yeah,
it.
and let me tell you something. It shows very, very much so, because during one of our meetings, I've seen you work your magic with the clients that you're working with, and I can see that you're very compassionate. You're very, very dedicated, and you're definitely committed to excellence in your service. And that is the reason why your phone keeps on ringing, because
Yeah.
we get all that kind of referrals because of your exemplary service.
Well, the same thing with you, Furley. Like when you put your heart and passion into something, people know you're not BSing them. Like it exudes from your karma, from your personality. So when the first time I speak to a client, and you're evaluating the situation, and you're asking the questions, not just to qualify them, but to get an understanding of where they want to be, not the maximum amount they qualify for, what payment do they want to be at, not how much can we push your loan up. You have to really be a little caring. At the end of the day, I don't want the client to default. I want that client to be happy, have a manageable mortgage payment, and then be so happy with the delivery and the service of our loan that the best part of advertising is our referrals. So the cheapest form of advertising is also referrals. Like if we do our job right and we set up the expectations and we deliver the rate and the payment that we had promised, we're seeing the residual business come from that. We're seeing repeat clients, family referrals, friends referring friends, clients coming back to us and almost treating us like a financial planner. As, hey, is this a good idea if I did this? And I'm like, well, I can't speak to you about what you should do with your 401k, but here's what I could do for you if it's something makes sense for them. So go ahead.
Share with us, before we close, share with us like 3 most valuable tips that you can share with our potential homeowners, buyers, or refinance clients. What would make it easy for them to actually qualify and be approved for a loan?
Okay, so a couple tips would be, first things first, you have to know where you stand. To give me a call is not locking you into anything. It's to have a conversation about developing a plan to seeing if you qualify, number one. And number two is, what's the best type of loan you qualify for? How do we structure it? Is it best to take a 30-year, a 20-year, a 15-year? What your ultimate goal is and your plan is over the next 5-10 years? All of those things make a difference in what type of product and what type of, how long of a term we put you into. Number two, obviously, always make your payments on time. There was a period where, banks were accepting clients who were affected by COVID who had a reduction in income to defer their payments. And now some of those clients that deferred their payments, aren't able to qualify for a refinance because we want to see the banks that are refinancing want to see a history. So although it may help them at the time, it's hurting them now. So a tip would be, obviously, if you can always make your payment, and it's a little bit of a stretch, always make your mortgage payments, because that's the best way to keep yourself in a good position financially and with your credit wise. The last tip is I'm a phone call away. If there's questions, something you don't know, the more knowledge you have, the more power you have. Speak to somebody who's licensed, who's been in the business for a while, who could help you structure your new mortgage to help you get to the payment you want, either reducing it or reducing either your payment or reducing your loan term. That's where we're seeing the majority of refinance clients come in right now.
One thing I love about what you also shared is that you actually do not charge fees up front like many of the mortgage providers do, right?
What we're seeing is that, a couple clients will refer someone else and they're shopping, and hey, listen, the smart consumer shops. I tell my clients, always, shop if you want to compare to see what I'm doing for you. I have nothing to hide. The thing is that you have these people that are taking upfront fees. So whether they qualify you or you lock the rate or not, they're collecting a fee from you, which basically locks that client in without even, being able to negotiate rate and term. Once somebody pays $1,000, they feel committed to that person. They don't want to lose that $1,000. So $1,000 or $500 is an upfront fee. We don't collect any fees. Your only out-of-pocket expense when you deal with our bank is when it comes to pay your appraisal, and then everything else is part of your closing. So again, we don't do shady tactics like that where guys will take application fees up front or take a fee that's non-refundable just to lock a client in. We want a client to choose us and to stay with Advisors Mortgage because they're confident that we're the best lender for the job, that we're going to deliver on the rate that we promised, and we're going to hit the commitment date and the closing date on time.
Well, how do they reach you? What's the best way for them to reach you?
My cell phone's a bat line, 732-803-6576. I'll post, my information is readily accessible on Zillow, Facebook, Instagram. But obviously we always search me at Anthony Dinapoli at Advisors Mortgage, part of the Muscarella lending team. It's been here 16 years, and any search you find, even social survey reviews, you can find online and find me. Just remember my name, Anthony Dinapoli, ABC with the D. Always be closing with Dinapoli and Divorce Dynasty. Burley, we love you. We're going to send some furniture. Obviously,
I will be there because I would like to make sure that your clients do not lose their homes to foreclosure in case of a medical catastrophe. And so
that's why you're so valuable, because so many of those have happened. We see clients where they default and they fall behind. But if they have you in place before that, it could save their house and it could save their credit. That's why I can't wait to continue to work with you, Furley, and to send my clients and my pipeline over the last 16 years to make them your clients.
Well, like we have such an unstable internet in here. However, I would love to be able to invite you back because I
Yes.
just want to make sure that you have shared whatever it is that you people need to be able to qualify for a loan and make sure that they also get protected in the best way possible. Your service is impeccable. I have met you and I've really like admired what you've done because I have and what you've done and what you are doing because I've seen you work. And I am very confident to definitely recommend you as your go-to mortgage provider. So Anthony, we're going to post on the comments his telephone number so you can just give him a phone call. There is no fee up front. That what have you got to lose? Just
Free
talk to him.
consultation, free talk, free conversation. All I'm saying is if you're looking for a refinance, have your mortgage statement ready so we can review what it currently is and what I could do for you. And Farley, again, I can't wait to make my clients your clients and continue to work with you.
Yes. Thank you so very much and have a delightful weekend with your family.
Thank you so much. We're going pumpkin picking soon. So we're going pumpkin picking and apple picking over at Casola Farm. So I'm looking forward to it. It's supposed to be a beautiful day outside. Got some work done, got the gym in, got this podcast done. And again, spending some time with you in the morning is a good way to start the day.
Beautiful. Have a glorious weekend, everyone. Until next time, this is Furley Almonte on behalf of Carolina Denhard of Divorce Dynasty saying, until next time, live your life in gratitude and live it fully and, of course, audaciously. All right.
Always be caring. Always be caring with me and Farley.
Thank you so very much.
Thank
Also, remember, always be closing with Dinapoli. Always be caring. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Bye, Farley. Have a great weekend, hon.
Okay, you too. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.